I'm remembering the days before I went away, way back in the hills of Vermont. And the orchard on the hill, I think I see it still, way back in the hills of Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the cardamom run free, and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. There used to be a barn near the old fishing pond, way back in the hills of old Vermont. So many fields of hay gone with yesterday, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the cardamom run free, and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Well, everything has changed, nothing stays the same, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Like the old brown panther's roar, you won't hear that no more, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the cardamom run free, and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont. But when the rains came down and flooded many towns, way back in the hills of old Vermont, all the neighbors lent a hand for the loving of the land, way back in the hills of old Vermont. For tonight I long to be where the cardamom run free, and the rattlesnake can lie out in the sun, near the voices of the loons when the apple blossoms bloom, way back in the hills of old Vermont, way back in the hills of old Vermont. Hi, this is Rik Palieri, and welcome to another Songs and Stories for them hard-hitting times. And it's great to be here with you on a very, very hot day. You can imagine that's a lot of people, we're all kind of hunkered down inside, not enjoying the outdoor weather right now because it's pretty hot here for Vermont. And I'm glad to be here. It's been an interesting time period because as I talked about the last show, things are opening up. So a lot of people are busy again, and you wonder how often people need to do these kind of live streams anymore, because so many people are getting busy. I have gigs coming up this week, live gigs that I'm really excited about, and I'm trying to take it easy on I had hurt my arm back a while ago, and it's still kind of healing, so I'm not going to be playing as much today. It's only 82 in the sunshine in the Florida state, says Al Poindexter. And yeah, it's hotter here in Vermont than it is over in Florida, if you can believe that. We've been having in the 90s. For Vermont, that's pretty hot. And so, yeah, I've been trying to rest my hand a little bit, as you have to do sometimes. You get your hand. It's still working, but because I'm going to have to play a lot on Friday, I'm playing over at a place called the Blue Paddle, which is a nice little restaurant up on the Champlain Islands, and it's a really nice place to be. So I'll be on Friday night. I'll be playing there, and there's all kinds of things going on. And one of the things that I'm really excited about was that I just became a member of the Recording Academy. And that is quite an honor, because you get a chance to help pick some of the songs that will win the Grammys. So you're involved in that whole process. And it was an honor to be nominated for that. And I'm looking forward to see how that's going to work. And hopefully, hopefully that there's enough of us, like Reggie Harris also came on board, that maybe folk will have a little bit more of a voice in the Grammys. And wouldn't that be nice for people who are working really hard to get their music recognized? Because that's one of the things. I mean, folk music, it's often looked at, well, it's not commercial music or anything like that. But at one time it was. One time it was for sure, My friend Jake Wildwood helped put this guitar back in shape. This is a Paracho guitar I picked up on a trip down to Mexico with my friend Lon Austin and Barb and Chuck Giamalvo and Andy Hurlbutt, and all my wonderful friends over there. And I was thinking about this song, playing it on this Paracho guitar. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Bring me little water now. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Now don't you hear me coming? Don't you hear me now? Don't you hear me coming? Every little once in a while. Won't you bring me some water, Sylvie? Bring me little water now. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Bring it in a bucket now. Bring it in a bucket, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. So old Leadbelly had this little song about a man out in the fields working hard, and he needs some water, like on a hot day like today. It reminds me of a crazy little story. I was out doing those school tours back in the 1990s, and I was down in Mississippi. And every day I had to go out to the schools, and I would go past all these fields of cotton. Beautiful cotton land. You see that white balls of cotton. And I was wondering, I said, there's all these songs about picking cotton, but I don't know what it's like to pick any cotton. So I got this crazy idea that it was time for me to have some cotton picking in my folk singing career. So I waited late at night, as one would, and I pulled into a big field of cotton. And then I went in the darkness and reached my hands into the cotton, and I grabbed that cotton ball, and to my surprise, there's these kind of thorns in the middle of the cotton. and my hand was getting all sore, and man, I started realizing how much work it is, how hard it is to pick cotton, and thinking about all those people who were forced to pick cotton. It gave me a whole different appreciation for all of these songs about cotton and the work that's done with it. So while I was thinking about this song, can you imagine somebody out there on a hot day picking cotton, and they're sweating and they're thinking about water. And on a day like today, you're thinking about water. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Bring me little water now. Bring me little water, Sylvie. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while. Every little once in a while. Leadbelly's song, Bring Me Little Water, Sylvie. Great song that you folks, could sing at your, maybe if you're in a song jam or something like that. Really great if you could do harmony. Harmony is one of those things that I'm still kind of working on harmony. But I try to make music part of my life in all kinds of ways. Because music is that kind of thing that fits right into your life. And sometimes you're singing for some friends, you're singing around a campfire with some friends, or you're singing in a living room or on a front porch with friends. And other times, you go over and give the gift of music to a friend. Maybe, just singing happy birthday, to somebody. That can be a good thing, especially if they don't have music in their life. And that's one of the things that I've always tried to do is bring a little bit of music in people's lives. Sometimes a little bit crazy. I don't know if I ever told you the story, but one time, that time, I was out on those school tours for years. I did over 1,000 schools across America. And, and I was doing Polish folk music. So every day I would be wearing the Polish outfit. And I have the big, heavy woolen cape and the heavy woolen vest and everything on. And I had to get up kind of early in the morning to be ready for the school. I'd be in my camper. And I had my dog Koza with me. And well, sometimes the hardest part about doing those kind of tours, of course, was getting a shower. Because you're living out there on the road, man. You're on the road and you're sleeping in this van with this dog. And you have to go into these schools, and the first thing you want to do is you want to get clean. Now, sometimes you're lucky and you get to the school real early, and the janitor, who, believe me anyway, is the most important person in the building because he has the keys and he can let you in. He'll let you in and maybe let you go into the gym and take a shower, and then you're ready for the day. But sometimes you're not that lucky, as the case when I was out in North Dakota. And I'd get up early in the morning. I'd be parked next to this big stream, and I had no choice but early in the morning, get out and jump into that river. It was cold, and sometimes Koza, she'd jump into the water too, and then you have to watch out that she's not going to claw you to death with her paws. And that's, being out on the road like that was a really interesting experience. And so I was lonely a lot of the time, because, when you do these performances, I think some people don't realize, what is it like anyway to be one of these performers, They see you up on stage and you do your little thing, and then they all leave and you're alone. In fact, you're alone most of the time. You're alone, before you get to the gig, and like you're setting up and you're kind of alone there unless somebody's talking to you, and then you do your gig and there's a lot of people and then you're alone again. And I think that's one of the reasons that performers go crazy, because they're all pumped up seeing all these people and everything, and then they're alone again, maybe sitting in some truck stop or Or in my case, here I was. I did a whole day's worth of work, and I went over to one of those mom and pop restaurants that they have out, especially out in the Midwest. These little places, and when I lived in Poland, one of the things that we often did, is that we'd play for the workers. That was a big thing. We would do these concerts for the restaurant because they fed us. And there would be a whole bunch of people and they'd be dancing and everything. And it's really a beautiful thing, to give people a little bit of music. And so I said, maybe I could do that. Just maybe I could figure out a way of doing that. And so, here it was out in some little restaurant in the middle of nowhere. And, I'd be sitting there wearing these Polish clothes, and that was kind of freaky to the people anyway. And then I'd finish my meal, and then I'd say, that was a great hamburger. Would you mind if I sang for your cook? The woman thought I was joking, She said, what do you mean, sing for my cook? I said, well, I'm out here doing these different programs about Polish folk culture, and it's an old tradition. We eat a good meal and we want to say thank you to the cook. Is there a way that I can go and sing a song for your cook? So she shouts out, hey, Fred! The guys are back there, flipping the hamburgers. What? This guy, he wants to sing you a song. He wants a what? He wants to sing you a song. Can he come and sing you a song? I guess so. So, little did they know that I had my set of Polish bagpipes underneath me. And I got up, put the pipes out. I started playing the pipes. I went back into the kitchen with the pipes blaring away and singing them like, Groniczki, groniczki, tęskno mnie za wami, bo ja od maluczka, nauczony z wami. Now you can imagine what everybody's thinking. Like, what the hell is this guy doing? Singing, playing these weird Polish bagpipes, and he's singing in some strange language. Well, the guy's flipping the hamburger. His mouth is open, like, what's going on here? And at this point, the whole restaurant is completely dead silent. And here I am with my pipes. And I go over and I go to pay for my bill. And the guy looks at me behind the cash register. And he takes the check and rips it into shreds. He goes, we don't want your money. You gave us a story that we're going to be talking about for years. Yep. That was a lot of fun, and it was bringing a little bit of music into people's lives that they didn't expect, and you can do that for all kinds of things, and people aren't expecting it, so they get a little bit of music, and sometimes I guess it can be a little bit unnerving if you're not expecting to hear a little bit of music, but I think it's always a good thing. Lately, I've been going out. There's this eagle's nest not too far from our house, and we were there right from the beginning. We watched the bald eagle. The pair of them were constructing the nest and kind of repairing it a bit. That's a nest that they've used many times, and then we noticed that one of the eagles was sitting down, so it must have been some eggs there, and sitting on the eggs while the other eagle was flying around and then would come down. And before you know it, one time we came over there and there were two tiny little eaglets there, and sitting with mama. And so I was out there with them, and so I decided, well, I'll play him some music. So I had my flute. I had a flute along with me. I thought I'd play some thank you music for the eagles. song like that, play it for the eagles. And the eagle, you notice the eagle would look at you, because I'd be looking through binoculars, because you can't, if you're looking at wildlife, you got to make sure that you keep your distance. I mean, you want to enjoy wildlife, but you don't want to invade their world too much, I guess playing the flute, hopefully it's calming for the eagles. I don't know. What do you think, folks? Do you think it's a good thing? I don't know. I think that they didn't fly away or anything like that. They would look at me. You could see them like the eagle eyes looking directly at you. And so that's been one of the fun things that I've been doing, going out there. And the last time that I was there, okay, so the eagles are sitting in the nest. The mom's not there, the pop's not there. It's just the two eagles. Now these eagles now are pretty big. So, and I'm watching them. And first you can hardly see them because they're hunkered down, way down into the nest. And then they start popping up. And then one of the eagles, he starts flapping his wings. He starts flapping his wings. And he keeps flapping his wings and flapping his wings. And then, I'm just watching this whole thing. And all of a sudden, he goes, whoosh, and he flies up into the sky just a little bit. And the other eagle is like looking at him like this, looking at him up in the air like that. And then that eagle starts moving its wings too, And then the other eagle comes down and flies back up again, and down and flies back up again. It was beautiful. And then they both settle down, because I think it takes a lot of energy for eagles to, when they first start getting ready to fly, But it was beautiful. And it sometimes it's those little things in life that you're just so grateful to experience. It's not a grandiose kind of thing, grand spectacular, but in some ways it is. To see an eagle take flight for the first time is a pretty special thing. And I feel, really honored that I could be there for that moment and witness that. And so many things in life that we have that opportunity to enjoy and share with our friends. And I want, I think that I'm not going to be here next week. I won't. I have a real live gig that I'm playing with some friends over at Isham's Farm. We're going to be doing one of these Isham Farm kind of farm markets thing, which I'm going to go to right after this to check out my friends Richard Wayne and Beth Duquette, who are doing it. And that's, Vermont musicians. Where else will we play? We play over at little, farms and things like that. I mean, right now we're still waiting as the door opens up. The door opens up and lets us enjoy the music, being able to perform live again. So, I am really grateful for that. And I'm really grateful to my friend Al Poindexter down in Florida. I'm hoping to be down in Florida later on this year, in November, and get to meet with Al, and hopefully we'll do an adventure together. That's what I hope, that we'll do some kind of a thing where we'll look at some wildlife. And that'll be fun. And share some music together. That'll be cool. So, I think that, like I said, I'm not going to play too much because I'm saving my hand, but maybe I could play something. Jake fixed my banjo. Oh, the banjo. The banjos are heavy, Thinking about that, being old. just love playing the old banjo. Well, I'll see you again next week here on Songs and Stories for Hard-Hitting Times. We'll tell some more stories, play some more tunes. Until then, this is Rik Palieri in the hills of old Vermont, wishing you a happy week. I won't see you next week. I'll be playing a gig, but I'll be back after that. Until then, you keep well. And if you have a friend that you need to call and say hello to, make sure that you do. There's too many friends that are leaving us these days. Make sure you tell people you love them, okay? So that's all that I have to say today. Be well, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.